Hey, what's going on, guys? Mindless Zebs here, bringing you a tutorial today. And before we get started on this tutorial, I'd just like to explain a couple things about Mindless and why we've been a little bit inactive. So to start off with, we're not dead. We're all still here, but we've had a couple problems inside the team, which we're not going to go over right now. But we decided that we wanted to wait a little bit to bring the best content we could to you guys. So we kind of paused our uploads, all that stuff, to get a better team and all that stuff situated. So we're all back now. Expect tutorials again. Expect awesome speed arts from our designers. All that stuff. It's all back to normal. And expect more content to come soon, which stay tuned for that kind of stuff. So let's get started in this tutorial. So today I'm going to be going over basic backings for 3D stuff. I've noticed that a lot of beginner designers are struggling with backings. Like all they do is leave a basic black background, which is really boring. It's kind of, you can tell that they're kind of amateurs at it. So today I'm going to be going over that. There will be a pack down below that you can download. It'll lead to a YouTube link, which that will have the download, so you can copy me exactly if you like. So let's get started. So we have our YouTube one here. I'm gonna pull up a basic render, which I forgot to do. Let me just get that going really quick. Let me just find a good render we can use here. Oh, here, this one works. Whoops, here, we'll use this one. Here's a random render I made a while ago, and I'm just gonna place this right onto our banner. So, you know, just do our typical thing, resize it, center it, kind of, you know, your basic shenanigans. Okay, boom. I'll make it a little bit smaller. Whoops, make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so we got our render here, you know, boom. Okay, so the first thing people decide to do is they start adding stocks right away. Like, I mean, I guess you could, but I mean, I would much rather start off with the backing and work your way up layer by layer. So start with the backing, then the render, editing, and then color correction, and then stocks, and then so on and so forth. So we'll start off by going over smokes and particles and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by getting a smoke. One other option you could do is before smoke is texture, which, I mean, if you guys wanted, we could do that. Let me see here. That's up to you guys. Totally acceptable if you guys wanted to, but for today, I'm just going to go over the smoke, particles, and then a couple other things. So we're going to open up smoke, and then as you can see here in this pack that I linked you guys, there's a bunch of different options here that you can use to create a sick backing. So to start off with, we're going to use 11 and we're going to use 9. 11 will be kind of our more transparent smoke, other than the other one, which I'll show you how to use. So I always like to have my smoke behind the renders. That's just a personal preference. So if you enjoy having them in front, you can totally do that. It's up to you. So we're just going to kind of have it where part of the top of this smoke is showing. We're going to duplicate it by doing Control-J, and then Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. That'll flip it vertically, and then we're just going to drag it up a little bit so it kind of does the same thing. Edit, and then Transform, Flip Horizontal, so it kind of gives it a little bit of a randomizer. Next, we're going to go into here and get our number 9. This will be kind of our very hard to see kind of smoke, but still there, you know, so it kind of gives you a just a little bit of texture in the background. Duplicate it over here, like so, and then now we just have this, and we're going to lower the opacity down to maybe like 15%, maybe even lower than that, like 10%. And this will cause a really good texture background. Now, obviously, right now it's very showing, like it's a little bit too much, you would say. But once we add a color correction, it's gonna blend this down a little bit, and it will make it a little bit harder to see. So it works out perfectly. And we can always edit these if it is too bright. So once we've done that, I mean, you could add more smoke if you like number 8, good corner smoke. Just add it in the corners. Here, let me do this. Make sure it's above everything else. I mean, you have an endless amount of options for smoke. Just, you know, don't go overboard with it. This might even be going overboard, but I mean, it's up to you guys. So like, just things like this, blend them together, so now we have even more detail. So once we've done that, I mean, we can add more smoke if you guys want, or we can go right into particles. Particles really depends on the type of style you're trying to go for. So if you want something with a bunch of particles, maybe get some thicker ones and some thinner ones. So we're going to start off with some maybe thicker ones right here. Make sure your particles are above the smoke. and just kind of lower the opacity a little bit, so it kind of just blends in. So it kind of looks like a smoke, kind of like a snowy type deal. It kind of looks a bit snowy, things like that. So we're just gonna add a little bit some particles everywhere, and we're gonna add a color correction so you guys can see what it looks like, the final, like, the look, you know. Once we've done this, I mean, you just go through these particles, find ones that you like. I included a lot of different kinds so you can kind of edit it to your style. Just kind of, you know, go through them all, find ones that you like, make them different opacities too. That one's important. Shows depth, maybe. Another really good one is this one, number 12. This is a really good one for adding detail of particles, like different types, you know, thicker ones, thinner ones, you know, you get the gist. So we do this, duplicate it, you know, I mean, it's not very hard, you just kind of do this, like, but a lot of beginner designers don't do this, and it's really simple to do. So now we have our basic backing. We can add a color correction if we like. Let's see what color corrections we have in here. Let's do a, we'll do a warm red. Put this over everything, whoops, boom, and then maybe add a bit of lighting to it. Let's see here, boom. Do a little bit of lighting, you know, do your basic stuff here. Voila, here. Maybe this is different. This is, I don't really like that. Let's get a different one. Ancient? We can try it. These color corrections don't really work well with this type of render, so I mean, you know, this one shows off a pretty good example, I would say. We can, you know, edit things. So as you can see here, I mean, I would say everything's a little bit too strong, so I mean, you just go over everything and lower the opacity a little bit more, and then you can add your lighting. You know, next up would be lighting, of course. Once you add all your particles and whatnot, I would say do lighting next. Basically just do a brush over the render, lower the opacity down like so, and then, you know, like, yeah, we can change the hue of this so it matches the color correction a little bit, so something like this. And then once we've done that, I would say next up would be adding our stocks. I didn't really include any on here. This is more of kind of like a backing, kind of finishing kind of pack. So I mean, I didn't really include a whole lot of stocks here. But I mean, you know, you guys know what to do from here. This is just the basic backing, so you could do lighting, everything like that. You know, you get the gist. So if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, we're all back. We're ready to post again for Mindless, so stay tuned for more uploads. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I've been your host, Zebs, today, and I am out. Peace.